everybody, it's KatePlayz and welcome back to the channel. We are back with part 4 in the Planning a Zoo mini-series. Today we are going to talk all about how you can build the brand of your zoo. A brand entails the multifaceted set of elements that collectively create a distinct identity for your zoo. These elements work together to convey your zoo's personality, values, and its promise to its guests. This step is optional, like our bonus backstory video, but like the lore, it can make the whole process more fun and engaging. So let's dive into step 1 on how you can build an immersive brand for your zoo. Step 1 is going to be thinking about key brand features. The first feature we're going to talk about is the name. The name is going to be the primary identifier for your zoo. You want it to be unique, meaningful, and easy to remember. In case you have a hard time thinking of a name for your zoo, I'm going to go through a couple easy ways you can generate a zoo name online. If you haven't already got a name in mind and in your zoo workbook, you can choose generatorland.com to generate a zoo name. This one has a button that's very easy for you to click, which will just give you a zoo name. They have some pretty cool ones that come up, while some of them might be a little more on the silly side. You don't have to give it any kinds of prompts, so this is a good way to just generate some very basic zoo names. The next will be generatorfun.com. They have a zoo name generator, and I will link all of these in the description. It has a very simple button where you click to generate zoo names, and it generates a lot. I believe it's like 10 or so names at once. The last one, and one of my favorite, is brandcrowd.com, and they have one specifically for zoo business names, and you give it a business description in a couple of words, and it generates a business name or a list of a few business names, as well as a little bonus surprise. So I saved this one for last. We're going to go ahead and type in something to do with our Coral Cove Zoo, and this is going to be a wildlife animal conservation center in Oceania on an island. And we're going to go ahead and generate what it gives us here. What's really cool about this one is you get a few different names, and then you also get these logos that are generated. Really cool logos that you can take a look at and possibly use as inspiration for the next topic that we are going to talk about. The next key brand feature that we're going to talk about is going to be the logo. That is a symbol or graphic that is a representation of your zoo. You want it to be simple and memorable, and you can use many ways to design your logo. You can use pieces or signs that are already included in Planet Zoo, or you can design your own logo using an editing software like Canva or Adobe products, and then use billboards to display it in your zoo. So I'm going to go through the latter option of how you can use editing software such as Canva to make a logo, and then use the billboards in-game to display it in your zoo. So here we are over in Canva, and I usually create a new design, and I use the 512 by 512 pixels because I like a square, but you can use many different shapes. I'm just going to cheat for this one, and underneath design, type in zoo logo, and you'll see that you get so many cool designs that you can choose from to give you a base idea of what you might want to do for your zoo logo. I'm going to go ahead and scroll through and just pick one to create a fun example to show you how you can edit each one of these logos. You can, of course, create your own custom design as well. This awesome Cheeky Monkey Jungle Tours really caught my eye. So you can change many things about the design. First, we're going to edit the background color by clicking the color logo. You can do more than what they have there and use their version of a color wheel or color slider. You can also edit the color of the graphics if you wanted to. In this example, I don't end up editing the color of the graphics. I do use the name generator to generate myself another name here for our little logo. Here we're going to use a monkey conservation center. And we're actually going to end up choosing Primate Paradise. That one's pretty cool. There's a couple cool logo designs here already, but to stick with the theme, we're gonna change the name here to Primate Paradise, and we're gonna change it from Jungle Tours to a different title as well. And that way we can show how you can edit this completely in many different ways. We're also going to change the font, which is another brand aspect we're going to talk about in just a little bit. But for this, we are going to choose a font that is not Premier or Pro. If you have a little star or crown, I believe it is, by the name, you'll notice that that is a Pro option. I really end up liking this Alice, and we have a bold option and we have a regular option, which are both pretty cool. You can edit any font that is on your slide, which is really cool. So we are going to make the font a little bit bigger and change it to Primate Paradise Wildlife Reserve. And bam, here you go. We have a pretty cool looking logo already. You can make circles and other shapes as well. So from here, you just have to export this to get it into your game. To get it exported, all you need to do is go up to the top right-hand corner and select Share. Underneath the Share option, you're going to have several different features. You're going to want to go to Download. From here, you have several different options. The best option is PNG for an image. If you're trying to get a video, you can even do MP4 videos though. If you have something that's circle, you can even do a transparent background so there isn't a white background. This is another Pro feature, but there is a Pro free trial almost always available. I highly recommend it if you are interested. Once you have your options selected, you will download, and then your logo will go into your downloads folder, which is really easy, really cool way to go ahead and get a logo into your zoo. Show you how to put that photo into your game. So you're going to go into your documents on your PC and find Frontier Developments. From here, you're going to want to find Planet Zoo. The next folder you're going to want to find is User Media. And this is where you're going to paste your photos that you want in your zoo. So I'm going to copy in the Coral Cove logo. You can copy from wherever you have your image stored. And you can right click and copy, and then you want to come over here and right click and paste. You can also use your keyboard shortcuts of Control C and Control V to go ahead and get all of the photos that you want to bring over into your zoo. From here, you're gonna jump on over to your game, and you are going to get out your billboards. So for the billboards in game, you're going to go to the facilities section, and you're going to want to go over to the education section and find what boards you're looking for, various different sizes. We are going to pull out the 4x4 meter panel, and then we're also going to pull out the 2x2 meter panel. We're going to go ahead and sit them upright. And then we're going to show you how to upload your picture to each one. Just want to make sure I don't have the lit ones. The lit ones will be lit at night, but they do alter the color of your billboard. So just be conscious of that as you upload your photos. So from here, you're going to click on your billboard and you're going to go to Replace Image. It is really cool. You have the advertisement targets for that as well. You've got plenty sample medias. What's really cool is these tell you the pixel size of the image you're going to want to import on that billboard. There's many online tools for that as well. Now, if you go into your images section, the second part, your media, you can select your logo. And I used a transparent background, and we will have to flip it, no biggie. But we have two separate logos. We have our small CC for Coral Cove, and then we have our larger actual Coral Cove image. So, and now you've got your image right there in your zoo. So now that you know how to put your logo on billboards in your zoo, Let's go ahead and move on to our next key brand feature that we're going to talk about today. The next key brand element we're going to talk about is your brand colors. These play a significant role in your zoo's recognition and emotional connection. You can use many different ways to create a color palette for your zoo. One of the tools I'm going to talk about today is going to be Adobe Color. Be sure to document your hex codes, and remember you may need to shift them slightly for certain textured objects in the game, which is totally okay. So let's show you how you can use Adobe Color to create a really cool color palette for your zoo. So here we are in Adobe Color. It's color.adobe.com. On the Create tab, you have some pretty cool options here. So all of these little checkboxes that you can have give you different color combinations like analogous, monochromatic, triads, complementary, etc. And you can pull around each individual wheel to create different color spectrums that you want to. You can also edit the hue, saturation, brightness, and various different aspects of your color palette from the bottom of these colors as well. I think this is just such a cool tool for figuring out how you can get a really nice color palette for your zoo. And with so many more items in the game becoming FlexiColor, there's so many different ways you can use this feature. The custom option really lets you get a nice custom palette where you can mess with each individual color on the spectrum here. You can edit where it falls, its saturation, its brightness, its hue. You can mess with each little aspect of the colors. I just think this is such a cool feature. But it is not the only one that Adobe Color has. Not only can you create your various own palette that you want to make, you can also look through other palettes, import images, and so many different things that you can do. The extract theme section on this page lets you import an image to get a color spectrum from it or color palette from it. And then you can also go into the other sections of the website and browse what palettes other people have created for their zoos. So if you click on over to the Explore tab, you can see that there are so many different color palettes that other people have already made. You have some popular searches, while you also have a search bar up at the top where you can search various different themes. Now, if you find something that you really like on the website, you can make yourself a profile. If you have Adobe Creative Cloud, you already have this, you just need to log in. But if you really like it, you can copy the hex codes right there. You can also add it to your library or download it as a JPEG image to keep that color palette. So this is a really cool way to get ideas. The next key brand feature we're going to think about is your values and missions as a zoo. These define what your zoo stands for and what it aims to achieve. It can help to shape your brand identity for your zoo, and it's going to guide the actions that your zoo takes. While making your zoo's mission and value statements, you can think back and tie back to your backstory and lore, what we talked about in our bonus video. If you haven't seen it, make sure to check out the other videos. I'll link them up in the top. Now, we're going to talk about Coral Cove's values and mission statement during the Speedbuild segment of our signage at the end of this video, so stick around to see that. And the last key brand feature you'll want to think about is your typography or your font. This is going to contribute to the overall look and feel of your zoo, and consistent typography enhances your zoo's recognition. You can use in-game fonts for the zoo, or you can use fonts from the workshop, which are really cool. We're going to look at a different way you can get fonts for your images if you want to use different fonts on billboards in your zoo. This website here, dafont.com, is a really cool way to download fonts to use in your choice of editing program. There are many different sections you can pick from up at the top here. Now, it is important to keep in mind that when you download these fonts, they are for personal use, for free for personal use, and some of them do have sections where you can donate to the creator. Now, these are going to be used in a program to go ahead and put it on an image to import into a billboard. You can't import these fonts into Planet Zoo itself to use on any items besides just putting it on an image and putting it into your zoo. Now, what you can do as well is head over to the Steam Workshop. Underneath your community tab, you can get to the Steam Workshop and you'll search up the Planet Zoo Workshop. And here you can search fonts, and the Ricey's fonts are extremely popular. Shout out to Ricey for creating all these amazing fonts with these tiny pieces. And there's many other creators who make fonts as well. Another great item that you can get to make consistent branding on your or within your zoo is going to be the signage. And if you search signs in the workshop, you're going to get many different signs you can choose from. Lion is another huge creator of the modular and recolorable signs for around your zoos. So using the consistent typography and using consistent signage throughout your zoo will help to create that brand presence that you're looking for. Now, with all of that talked about, that brings us into the next step after thinking about brand features. And that next step is going to be to document it. So there's many different ways you can document all of the brand features we've talked about today. The first one is going to be using your zoo planning workbook. You can get the link for that in any of the descriptions of the videos of this series. The next is going to be to use a file folder on your computer to store your logo, any billboard images or videos that you want to use for your zoo. And then don't hesitate to use the Steam Workshop. Things like fonts, signage, and other items can be amazing for creating your zoo brand within your park. So don't hesitate to use them. So with all that being said, let's hop into the last part of this week's video, and that will be the Speedbuild portion of us putting together the front entrance sign for Coral Cove. So sit back and enjoy how we put together our sign and billboard. So I won't bother you by talking this whole time through the Speedbuild, but I will talk for a little bit about Coral Cove's core values and mission statement. So Coral Cove's value statement. At Coral Cove Wildlife Sanctuary, our core values guide everything we do. We are committed to upholding the following principles. 1. Conservation. We believe in the preservation and protection of Oceania's unique and diverse ecosystems, fostering the responsible stewardship of our natural heritage. 2. Education. We are dedicated to educating visitors and fostering a deeper understanding of Oceania's wildlife and the importance of conservation. 3. Ethical care. We provide the highest standard of care for our animal residents, ensuring their physical and psychological well-being is our top priority. 4. Community engagement. We actively engage with local communities and global conservation efforts to support the broader mission of protecting our planet's natural wonders. And Coral Cove's mission statement is, at Coral Cove Wildlife Sanctuary, our mission is to inspire a profound appreciation for the beauty and importance of Oceania's unique ecosystems. I'm so happy to have a mission statement and value statement to guide me in the creation of the rest of this zoo project. So for the rest of this video, I'm gonna sit back in silence and let you enjoy some music while we take through the rest of this build of our front sign. Let me know in the comments which tip has been the most useful to you so far in our Planning a Zoo mini-series. And don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on notifications so you can see content like this in the future.